Hello everyone and welcome back to Tomohawk Talks Alopecia. Starting a video today, we're saying thank you for everyone who watched the last video and gave comments and support. We've got an interesting subject I want to talk about today, but first before we do, I just want to make a little point to you guys. I know that a lot of you who watch this channel might not have alopecia, but I want you guys to kind of keep in mind that I do this channel and this content is for people kind of with alopecia to kind of give them kind of like a voice and, you know, answer questions that they might want to know. But it's also kind of out there to help people try and understand what alopecia is. So the content on here, if you're from a gaming channel, is not going to be all like, woo, absolutely nuts. It's not going to be crazy. It's going to be a little bit funny and mostly informative. So just got that out of the way to start off with today. So what we're going to talk about today is we are going to talk about things that people with alopecia probably don't want to hear. Now it's kind of a weird subject matter. I kind of like messaged, we've got a Facebook group, an Alopecia UK Facebook group, and I kind of asked everyone on there, what is a thing that you really kind of would like to let people know that is not kind of like an okay thing to say or kind of act and stuff like that, which is, you know, quite a difficult subject to talk about because when you tell someone some news, they're not obviously all going to react to it in the same way. But today we're going to go through a couple of points which the people on the Facebook group have made, and we're going to try and talk about it a little bit. So hopefully you guys will find this very, very factual and somewhat entertaining. So let's start off with it today. I'm not going to say the names of the people in the Facebook group because I want to might keep that private. So we're just going to go with some of the things and some suggestions that they've come up with. When you might be out and you're walking about with alopecia and stuff, and someone wants to make a comment to you. One of the comments on here is when people say, "Oh, your skull is amazing. It suits your bald head." That's kind of like, it's really like a weird compliment. I think, like, you know, if someone's got nice eyes and, you know, a nice smile, it's like you've got a nice skull or shaved head. It's kind of a weird compliment. Like, surely this, you know, the person himself has got like other features which, you know, you could comment on, like the smile or something, or the eyes. Not like, I like your shape of your head. That's a nice head. Okay, so another point is kind of like, I've been in a situation before when I used to work in retail, and you'd have like a child, like it was this really young girl, I think she was like maybe like 5 or 6, and she kind of like went, "Oh mummy, that man's got no hair," and the mum was just like like completely mortified and was like, "Oh no, don't want to say." The thing is, like, if you've got children, don't kind of scold them for it. Be curious, and it's probably a lot better kind of telling them what it is. I mean, I'm not gonna like say there and say, well, it's to do with white blood cells around your hair follicles. Just kind of give them a little like simple of like what it is and stuff. Like, you're not doing it to like kind of scare them, but just kind of give them a little information about it. So kind of like, if everyone's gonna be curious, and me from a personal perspective, if someone's gonna ask me what it is, I'm gonna tell them, because in that way, then it's, you know, it's letting people know about the disease and everything else like that, and it's informing people. So I think it's a good thing. So this will probably apply to people with like alopecia areata. That's where you've got like patches on your head. If people go around pointing out to other people that your hair's falling out more and stuff, like, why would you do that? I honestly don't understand why people come up with that in general conversation. They're like, oh, it's like saying, oh, you're looking horrible today, like, are you ill or something? It's like, it's kind of like, it's just making an observation, but it's kind of, you know, the person who's going through that and the hair's falling out, they know, they're very aware how it looks, so you don't need people to go and point them out. So maybe if you kind of see someone with their hair falling out, don't be like, you know, did you know that your hair's falling out? Did you know that you're kind of losing a bit from there? Like, think about this. If you're going to make a comment, that the people who have got it are going to know. So another point here is to say, like, a lot of people, well, not a lot of people, quite a few people with alopecia wear wigs and stuff. And then obviously if someone's like pointing out like your wig and stuff, and then they make a comment like, "Oh yeah, that must be nice, just it being able to, you know, take your wig off and stuff at the end of the day, like, oh, my hair's like so annoying, it's so uncontrollable and stuff." Like, that's not like a good thing to say. Imagine if that was role reversal to the other person and they were just, you know, the fact that they've got hair is a privilege, not a right. That's a quote for you. Just think about that. If someone's got a wig and stuff, don't just like, must be alright for you, you know, you can do that. Okay, so this is a very good point. The main thing that I would say for people to listen to us, not constantly assume that they know how we feel, or not to say that it's just hair. We all know that it's so much more than that. So, kind of, I've had that a lot, and people are just like, hey, it's just hair, it doesn't matter about it. But this has come from people with hair, so they don't get it. They're just like, hey, doesn't matter. You don't know that you're missing something until it's not there, if that makes sense. So another good one is people staring. Now, obviously this is going to happen in society when people kind of look different from everyone else, but I used to get it so much when I used to work in retail. It was kind of like, there's some really weird things like, okay, this is an example. So say if you've got dry lips and stuff and you're looking at someone and you're talking to them, some people kind of like start like doing that to try to signal to you that you've got dry lips and stuff. But they don't do it intentionally. It's kind of like something happens in your brain, you subconsciously do it. Now, I used to get it in retail where I used to get people coming up to me, so I'd be there talking to them and they start doing like this and doing that, scratching the head, and that's like a psychological thing of like, oh, this guy's bald, but I've got it. It's kind of such a weird thing. The thing is, just try not to stare. Like, I know it's easier said than done. I just kind of speak to them about it. Don't be like, excuse me, what's up with that situation? Have a general conversation. Yeah, just try not to stare. Okay, so this kind of whole subject matter is kind of going to be a little bit controversial with some people, but at the end of the day, it all comes down to using this. No, not your scalp, using your brain when speaking to people. Just kind of have a chat with them, and if you're curious about something, approach it in a sensible manner, not just gawping and pointing and making comments. That applies to a lot of different aspects in life. This has been rather a deep conversation, rather deep video that we've done today. This is just trying to get points out there to some of you who may not have alopecia, how to kind of like, not kind of how to deal with like other people with alopecia, or how to react. It's just more of a kind of giving you some thoughts into how the thought process works with us and with those people who have got alopecia watching this video. I'm sure some of you may have experienced these yourself. So that is it today for Tomohawk Talks Alopecia. It's a weird video. It's not normally one of my kind of like spilling my heart out kind of things. It's more of, you know, some actual real thoughts by some alopecians. So I hope you found it somewhat informational and helpful. But yeah, that is it for today's video. If you do have any suggestions for any subjects you want me to talk about on this channel, that would be greatly appreciated. I am constantly trying to think of new stuff to the channel. I know, like, at the moment I'm trying to do it on a weekly basis, which is kind of a struggle sometimes because a lot of you may have already heard this or may have already got out of this. You might have already got from the channel what you already need. But yeah, some subjects would be great. If you want to let me know, then hit me up in the comment section down below, or also on Twitter, social media. I'd love to hear your thoughts on the subject. But yeah, thank you very much for watching, and remember to stay strong, my fellow alopecians.